Are you worried about what the future is going to look like with AI and how you're supposed to prepare your kids for it? Because if you're feeling that way, you're definitely not alone. Right now, there is so much information about AI, education, and future jobs that for many parents, it's becoming overwhelming. In this video, I'm going to walk through the 5 capabilities young people need to thrive in an AI world. Because after 10 years working in education and focusing on young people, I've come to believe that the conversation about AI and kids is often pointing in the wrong direction. The real question isn't whether our kids should be using AI or avoiding it. The better question is, what capabilities will our children need to thrive, no matter what the future of AI actually looks like? Right now, we're hearing a lot of noise. Things like, should kids be using AI to do their schoolwork? Should they learn coding so they're prepared? AI will replace most jobs. But the truth is, no one actually knows what the average working day will look like in 2040. Technology is moving far too quickly. What we do know, though, is that whenever the world changes, there are always certain human capabilities that remain incredibly valuable. And those are the capabilities we should be focusing on developing in our young people. This isn't the first time society experienced major technological change. Think about the printing press, think about the internet, think about smartphones in our pockets. To someone living 100 years ago, these changes would have been almost impossible to imagine. But through all of these shifts, one thing has always mattered: human capability. Technology changes, but the real advantage always goes to the people who know how to use the information and the tools effectively. AI is making information abundant. Answers are becoming instantaneous, so having huge amounts of information stored in your head is no longer the main advantage it once was. Instead, the advantage will belong to people who can think deeply, learn quickly, adapt, collaborate, take initiative. From my experience working in education and child development, there are 5 capabilities that stand out as being especially important in an AI influenced world. And these are the capabilities we should be intentionally nurturing in our kids today. The first is deep thinking. This is the ability to focus, analyze information, question ideas, and work through complex problems. AI can generate answers instantly, but the value of humans will increasingly come from people who can slow down, think critically, and move beyond the first answer. So a simple question for parents is, can your child think independently, not just retrieve answers? A quick side note here, in future videos, I'll unpack each of these capabilities in much greater depth and give practical ways that parents can help develop them at home. The second capability is learning mastery. In the past, education often rewarded the people who knew the most information, but the future will increasingly reward the people who can learn the fastest. Tools will change, jobs will change, industries will change. So the ability to continually learn new skills becomes incredibly valuable. Learning mastery includes things like retrieving memory, explaining ideas, applying knowledge in different situations, and using AI as a learning tool rather than a shortcut. Because AI doesn't actually learn for someone. It can assist the learning, but only if the person is willing to put in the mental effort. So the question becomes, does your child know how to learn or just how to complete the homework? The third capability is character strength. This includes qualities like discipline, patience, persistence, and emotional regulation. Even though technology may make some tasks easier, life will still involve difficulty, setbacks, and require effort. Character strength allows young people to handle those challenges. In many ways, strong character becomes a protective factor throughout life. So the question is simple: can your child keep going when things are hard? The fourth capability is social intelligence. As machines automate more tasks, human interaction actually becomes more valuable. This includes clear communication, collaboration, empathy, and leadership. The future will still belong to people who can work well with others, communicate their ideas, and build strong relationships. So another important question for parents is, can your child express their ideas and work effectively with other people? The fifth capability, and possibly the most important, is agency. Agency is the belief that your actions can shape your future. It's having the initiative to act, build, create, and take ownership of your life. AI makes it easier than ever to consume information, but the real advantage will belong to the people who can use information to create things and shape their own outcomes. Young people with strong agency take initiative, make decisions, build projects, and actively shape their own opportunities. They aren't passengers in life, they're in the driver's seat. So the final question is, does your child believe they can influence their future, and do they take action? The interesting thing about these five capabilities is that none of them are brand new ideas. In fact, they've always been important. But in a world where AI is making information abundant and answers instantaneous, these human capabilities become even more valuable. So instead of worrying about every new AI tool that comes out, step back and focus on developing these five core human capabilities that will help your child remain adaptable, capable, and resilient, no matter how technology evolves. And that's really what VivcoEd is about. If you're a parent preparing your kids for the future, consider subscribing to the channel. Over the coming videos, I'll be unpacking each of these five capabilities in much more detail and sharing practical ways you can help them develop at home. I'd also love to hear your thoughts. Out of these capabilities, which one do you think will matter most to your child's future? Let me know in the comments below. Tech will change, human capability wins. I'm Cal from VivcoEd. Bye for now.